All right. Andrew Henderson. Now, I've talked about this scam artist before, and once again, I exposed this guy around 15 years ago when he first entered the scene on ScamTube. And, it pays dividends building upon knowledge, folks. When you build upon that knowledge more and more, you become more informed, and maybe you can become like me and you can spot con artists, scam artists so easily because you know a lot about what the fuck is going on. So Andrew Henderson, he's like many of these fraudsters on Scam2 today who had nothing going on and they seized the opportunity of the 2008 financial crisis. Of course, myself, the leading expert, having predicted that, I've gotten nothing. No attention, no nothing. And you have all these scam artists out there who have done nothing and who have fooled millions of people as if they're some type of expert. Let me explain. And I know this because I've observed what was going on. Many of these people, you can look into them, whether it's what's the guy's name? AMTV Green, another fraudster who I should expose. I've exposed him on my website many times, many years ago. You can take a look at the AMTV on ScamTube. A total fucking fraudster. Complete liar. He's like a younger version of Alex Jones. In fact, all these doomsday guys, they copy Alex Jones. Just like, the fear-mongering guys, the gold-pumping guys, they copy Peter Schiff. But after the financial crisis, you had a lot of losers out there, lost their jobs. And then you had other people who recognized the opportunity in promoting fear, doom, what have you. You had guys like Andrew Henderson who had seen Jeff Berwick, his predecessor of this second passport scam. Jeff Berwick was scamming people for many years. Berwick, and you can look him up on ScamTube. I don't know what channel he has now, but I've already talked about him. You can, this one of these libertarian wacko con artists. Let me just mention, by the way, folks, you should write this down. Every single fraudster con artist that I've ever seen will admit to you they're proud to tell you they're a libertarian. And you know why? Because these libertarian wackos, they don't want any type of regulatory authority. They don't want any rule of law. They want to be able to do whatever they want. Why? Because they want to scam you. Therefore, no protection against consumer fraud. They embrace those laws. They love it. Of course, I exposed the whole libertarian Austrian economic school Mises Institute fraud so many times, so many years ago. Just write it down. Anyone associated with so-called libertarian movement calls themselves the libertarian or Mises Institute. They're either a pigeon, like a naive minion dipshit follower that doesn't know what the fuck's going on, that's been fooled, or they're a fraud. Write it the fuck down. Take it to the motherfucking bank. Boom. It's based upon my expertise of examining these fraudsters for many years. Okay. It should be pretty obvious if you're alert. Now, Andrew Henderson, as I mentioned, he got this whole passport idea from a known druggie, loser, compulsive liar, fraudster, scam artist called Jeff Berwick, who was defrauding many people, doing the same thing, leveraging the fear, anxiety. You can imagine after the 2008 financial crisis, people are not knowing what's going on. Oh my God, I got to get out of the country, this and that. You had all the bullshit. That's during the time when you had all the Peter Schiff people right? Telling you about how the U.S. is finished, dollar's going to collapse, going to zero. You understand, pumping gold, all this stuff. And so, once again, folks, these con artists are opportunists. They're going to go where the gusto is. So Jeff Berwick was defrauding a lot of people, making all types of bullshit claims. Another uneducated fraud, but like I said. Andrew Henderson came on the scene a few years later. Both of these guys, both of these swindlers, by the way, their mentor's Doug Casey. If you don't know who this fraudster is, you can look it up. Career con man Casey. He's part of that whole gold pumping scene. He's in copy editing of bullshit, pumping junior miner stocks and all that bullshit. And anytime you hear junior miners, think scam. Nobody promotes junior miners except scammers, penny stock promoting swindlers. Write it down. Write it the fuck down. Once you're looking at that whole army of swindlers, you're going to see a lot of people. You're going to see a lot of connections. Okay? Nobody in the world has documented all this shit other than me. Expose it all on my website. Okay? Whole host of names. And once you understand, once again, folks, the more you understand about this whole underground network of con artists, scammers, disinfo agents, you're going to be able to spot these things more quickly. But it takes time. It takes effort. Of course, I've done all the work for everybody, all the legwork. Done it for free. Never profited a penny from it. In fact, I've lost money from it because you piss off a lot of the cult members. Like, I don't want anything to do with you. I mean, you're too fucking stupid. Get away. Go away. I mean, get away from me. Go away. So Andrew Henderson came out, and I knew he was a fraud from day one when he started promoting. This is around, 2011 or so. Started promoting who? Peter Schiff. I mean, anybody that promotes Peter Schiff as some kind of an expert, is either completely fucking stupid or is a scammer. Wanting to embrace that whole cult. In other words, if I'm a scammer, I'm going to want to position myself with big-time scammers, like big-time con artists, big-time disinfo agents, right? You understand? I'm going to want to position myself with people who have a large reach, who have already convinced people, formed a cult of disinformation, like Peter Schiff, with all his nonsense, all his ridiculous claims, right? I mean, I've got all that documented, right? That whole industry of fear mongering. Get out of the stock market. It's going to crash. Dollar's going to zero. Buy gold. You understand? Right? You understand? It's too predictable. And then during that time, around 2010, you had Porter Scamsbury from Agora. He was with Agora Financial at the time, Baltimore-based a disinfo copy editing scam firm that publishes the likes of Harry Dent, another scammer, Jim Rickards, scammer, Nomi Prinz, scammer, even Tim Sykes is with that under that umbrella now, Robert Kiyosaki, so on and so forth. Okay, Doug Casey, Bill Bonner, I can go on and on and on. That's the biggest disinfo boiler room copy editing shit show in the world. If you've seen these fear-mongering infomercials, video commercials, all this bullshit, chances are it comes out of Agora. They've got dozens of different names that they publish under. Okay. I expose all these people. Jim Rickards, complete fucking scam artist, liar. I mean, people are so fucking stupid, it's disgusting to me. It's disgusting how stupid many people are. They don't even look into the most basic thing, the most basic premise that positions these people as so-called experts. And I'm going to show you a little bit later, unless I forget, this applies to Jim Rogers. Okay? In other words, their whole claim to fame, they're going to tell you a little story. And they don't even look into that. Jim Rickards, his whole thing, I advised the CIA. No, you fucking didn't. I contacted the CIA. They don't know who the fuck you are. Of course, Jim Rickards was nowhere to be seen or heard of until after the financial crisis. Like all these predators, these scavengers, exposed him a long time ago. He's at the gold pumping scene. He figured, oh, okay, I'm going to write me a book, a pro-gold book, release it in 2011, trash the dollar, pump gold, and my book will be sold, promoted by all the gold pumpers. I'll make a lot of money. That's his whole shtick right there. And, of course, he told CIA advisor, nobody, fucking loser. I exposed this guy a long time ago. But so Andrew Henderson came around at the same time. He got the whole idea of the second passport scam from Jeff Berwick, who has since moved on to, cryptocurrency research, newsletters. I mean, this guy, Jeff Berwick's another uneducated fucking loser. Pothead. And once again, this whole thing came from Doug Casey and all these people. Doug Casey, the international man. During that time, remember, 2010, you can look it up. I documented Doug Casey was telling everyone to escape the economic collapse in America. Move to Argentina. Why? Well, because he had a real estate project there he wanted to sell you. Overpriced, shitty-ass real estate that became a disaster in the wonderful city of Salta, the drug zone, the fucking cocaine capital of Argentina. That's right. You can look it all up, folks. I know the whole fucking goddamn song and dance. If you don't realize that by now, I mean, who do you think you're listening to, folks? I'm the big swinging dick. No matter what I fucking involve myself with, whether it's the stock market or exposing scammers. I'm a pretty fucking sharp cookie. Probably. Right? And I don't back down from these pieces of fucking trash. Once again, these motherfuckers live off perception. That's why they're on ScamTube. They control the publishing of their content. They control the comment section. You're not going to read any negative comments about these swindlers because they delete them all. And they spend tons of money buying fake reviews, so on and so forth. And in the case of Andrew Henderson, who's left the U.S. to minimize the possibility of lawsuits for which he is already involved in. So you got the guy here, Andrew Henderson, during the period when his mentor, Doug Casey, was telling everyone to move to Argentina from the U.S. And by the way, during the same period, his protege, Jeff Berwick, was telling people to move to Chile to escape the collapse in America, in Canada. And of course, Jeff Berwick was involved in selling real estate in Chile, which was another fucking disaster. And we know what happened to Chile and Argentina since that time. They fucking collapsed. Argentina's still in hyperinflation. Right? A complete fucking disaster. Anyone that falls for these people who are telling you it's so much better in developing countries with no fucking rule of law, basically. Better than the West, than the U.S. They're con artists. They're trying to sell you their fucking shit. What are they trying to sell you? You understand. They're always trying to sell you something based upon that premise. The bullshit premise, by the way. I mean, think about it. You have people, millions of people every year around the world risk their fucking lives to get into America. Why? Risking their fucking lives. I don't see anybody risking their goddamn lives to get into Chile or Argentina. Do you? People are risking their fucking lives to get the fuck out of those countries, by the way. You think about that. Where are people risking their lives to go to? Are they risking their lives to go to China? Or are they risking their lives to get the fuck out of China? That applies to just about everywhere else in the world outside of the West. Most places, let's say. Think about that for a second. Why is that? So this con man, Andrew Henderson, a former swimming pool cleaner, uneducated loser, he does what all these guys do. Most of these guys, anyway. And once again, folks, when you have someone, he's trying to present himself. He's a professional. He's a snooty guy, right? His little sweater and collar and suit and all this bullshit. Hey, Andrew boy, you're not an Ivy League graduate. I am. I'm an Ivy boy. You understand? You're not upper crust. I am. You're fake. You're a fraud. You're a swindler. You're a loser, an uneducated swindler. Shut your fucking mouth and stop scamming people. You understand, folks? He tries to come across like he's some educated, snooty little fucker wanting you to send him money if you have 7 or 8 figures. Oh, I don't, but can you help me, please? That's the whole swindle. Oh, well, you don't have that money. Well, gosh, he only helps the rich guys. Maybe he can help me. Maybe if I can get help from a guy who helps the rich guys, wow, I'm in good shape. You understand the deviant psychology. I've said this before and I'll say it again. First and foremost, for all you idiots out there who don't realize this guy is a fraudster, he's taken money from many people, false promises, a lot of horse shit, charging crazy prices. This guy has built his whole facade on smoke and mirrors, which we'll get into here in a little bit. So what he does, and you can check the website, Nomad Capitalist is a scam. Somebody made that site. Any positive reviews on this guy, guaranteed they're fake. He's bought off Trustpilot, which is a fake review site. You can pay to have reviews removed. Right? It's a complete fucking scam site, which is interesting, actually. They used to be based in somewhere like Armenia, and now they've moved their headquarters to, I think, somewhere in Europe. Trustpilot, complete fucking. All the scammers head to Trustpilot and put fake reviews. If you notice that, everyone's showing us, oh, look at our Trustpilot reviews. Have you ever noticed? Next time you see a scammer, they're going to tell you about their Trustpilot reviews, right? Fucking scam. Anyway, so this guy charges anywhere $40,000, $50,000, $60,000 offering to give you a second passport. Folks, let me tell you right now, this guy knows nothing. He has no legal knowledge, no tax knowledge, no investment knowledge. He's never worked professionally for any legal firm, tax firm, or investment firm. He's not educated in law, tax, or investments. These are all facts. He's a swindler, a swimming pool cleaner who has put out, he has jumped aboard the fear-mongering, conspiracy, bad government, pro-libertarian, pro-gold, pro-cryptocurrency bandwagon to lure in all those fucking idiots who are willing to believe anything from anyone they hear as long as they hear what they want to hear. You understand? Oh, crypto's great. I love crypto. I promote crypto. If you want to be an independent, free-minded person living in another country, just apply and see if we'll help you out. I love crypto. I love libertarians. You understand? People are so fucking stupid. Anybody that pitches their line, they're going to go with. It's just complete stupidity. It's what these guys do. Anything about any type of residency overseas, right? Any passports, and it's virtually impossible to get a decent second passport. I can tell you that right now. Okay. Unless you are very wealthy. In that case, you don't need nobody. You go to the officials. Okay, but it's all disclosed. Do a search. St. Kitts, those little islands in the fucking Caribbean. Buy a house. Golden visa. Portugal, you buy a house there, 400,000 euros. Greece, golden passport, 250 euros. This stuff changes every year. Malaysia, my second home program, around $400,000. These are and this stuff changes once again year to year. They'll change this is on Google. It's out there. You paid nobody. Okay. So let's take a look now. I wanted to show you something in particular. I should do a separate video on this. Actually, is what I should do. Because this is what struck me. This is what caught my eye, my attention to do this video. Because I just completed the November Intelligent Investor Research webinar not so long ago. So here's his YouTube channel. Okay. And I've taken the time to go ahead and scroll through 2,700 videos to show you the oldest. We'll go through that here in a second. But I'm going to go ahead and spill the beans and show you why I wanted to talk about this fraudster again. Why is that? I came across, by accident, take a look, Patrick Boyle. Patrick fucking lying Boyle. Folks, what have I told you? What have I told you guys? Why it's important to understand these scammers, these liars and con artists out there. Get a feel for these people, because the more that you know, the more you're associated, you can see the whole network. They all hang together. Remember that? Remember that? Patrick Boyle's in several videos. Patrick Boyle attended this Nomad conference. So think about this for a second. Patrick Boyle has now elevated his status as a scammer. Before, he lied. He misrepresented himself on YouTube. He came on YouTube, told everyone he was a hedge fund manager, which is a lie. And if you watch these videos, even this was done 2023, Andrew Henderson wearing his cheap-ass $50 suit. And trust me, folks, I can tell you that's a $50 suit. He got it made in India or Thailand. Not to say that they don't have good suits there, that you can get very nice suits, but it's all about the material. If you're going to get a tailor-made suit, don't fucking get a cheap suit. Get some nice material. Otherwise, why the fuck are you getting it tailor-made? I doubt this is even tailor-made. You can take a look, by the way. At least Patrick Boyle's got a decent suit on. You can just tell by the material, right? But, the Nomad capitalist, he's a wealthy guy. Hell, I made my first million. I know, right? What? Yeah, you see the facade? It's pretty obvious. So my point is that even in 2023, Patrick Boyle is maybe not only allowing Henderson, but maybe even telling Henderson to introduce him as a hedge fund manager. He's not a hedge fund manager. He's a former hedge fund manager. Big difference. In my book, that's deceitful. That's misrepresentation. That's fraud. And now you see, folks, if you didn't believe me before about Patrick Boyle and you wanted to give him a pass, now you see he's in bed with Andrew Henderson. Now, you can say, well, maybe Patrick Boyle is naive and doesn't realize Henderson is a scammer. Okay? If that's the case, then why would you want to listen to Patrick Boyle? He doesn't have any good judgment. He's a fucking idiot. He can't see that. I believe Patrick Boyle knows he's a swindler, but doesn't care. It's the typical YouTube collaboration bullshit where they think there's no damage associating with the scammer. So Patrick Boyle doesn't care. He doesn't care because think about this for a second, folks. When you collaborate with someone, and Patrick Boyle didn't just collaborate. Patrick Boyle is officially a business partner with Andrew Henderson now. That's right. He's an official business partner. He was a presenter at his conference. Patrick Boyle is now involved with a scammer. Think about that. Spread the fucking word. Aside from the fact that Patrick Boyle has failed in his life, to the extent you got a guy probably in his 40s, mid-40s, who has to resort to creating clickbait videos, stupid videos on YouTube, e-begging. That's right. That's what his life has amounted to. Complete loser. Patrick Boyle, folks, this is what I'm saying about these people. He doesn't care to put his subscribers in harm's way. Anytime you do a video with another person, you're going to see those subscribers, they're going to subscribe. So now Patrick Boyle not only has subscribers from Andrew Henderson, but Andrew Henderson has subscribers from Patrick Boyle. You understand what I'm talking? Look at this on the side here. CoffeeZilla, the scammer promoter, he makes money promoting scammers. Look at this piece of shit. These people are fucking pieces of shit. Trash bags. Let's take a look. Let's read some comments. Hi, see, this is what the typical fucking scam artist does on YouTube. They want to post their thank you. Why? They're looking for fucking subs. You understand? Sneaky little fucking trick. Let's see what we got here. That's good enough. Join in, please. Told you, folks. I told you. Over and over again. You are judged by the company you keep. Birds of a feather always flock together. Right? Another one. Now, I want you to watch this little opening here. This is good. Take a look. Once again, this little opening. Who is this? Anybody know who this is? Anybody know who this scam artist is? Max Conman Kaiser. Take a look at this little politician, bought off whore, Patrick Bet David. You see that? Michael Saylor. You see that? I mean, you could just tell. See, if you don't know these people are con artists and fraudsters, but if you do, you're like, okay, it's done. End game. It's over. See that? So this Andrew Henderson's trying to he's doing the whole smoke and mirror stuff, making sure his videos look polished and professional like he's some professional organization. Folks, avoid smoke and mirrors, hot air. Show me the fucking beef. You understand? This is all hot air horse shit. Same thing Patrick Bet David's doing. All these guys, they're spending too much time, too much money on their smoke and mirrors, superficial bullshit. You understand? They're running a complete facade. All these guys. And so, it's funny how Patrick Boyle comes out like he's an expert on the Chinese economy. He comes out at the end of 2023 talking about, China's economy is not doing good. No shit, Boyle, right? Look at this. Funny how Patrick uses Jim Rogers to support his Western position. Last time I checked, Jim lives in Singapore and his daughters are learning Mandarin. So, well, at least there's somebody that knows what's going on. I think Patrick is too far from being an expert in BRICS. He made a number of videos about the Russian economy, for example. If you watch them, they didn't age very well. Interesting. You guys look that up. Go on Boyle's channel and take a look at the videos on the Russian economy. Patrick Boyle is a fake guru. He doesn't know what the fuck he's talking about. He's a fucking idiot.
terrible government policies and an economy that boomed hundreds of years ago and then, was
Look, hedge fund manager professor.
suppressed for a very long time. And then once the weight was
So think about this. Patrick Boyle went to Malaysia to be a part of this guy's conference. He's helping Andrew Henderson. He's helping Andrew Henderson build his scam. You understand what I'm saying, folks? This is what you get. This is how you have to think about this stuff. Anyone associating themselves with this conference, this guy, any other conference, they are complicit. They are accomplices. They are accomplices in any types of scams, cons that are going on. You understand that? Tell Patrick Boyle what I'm saying. In fact, somebody, because he's just a part-time lecturer. He calls himself professor. He doesn't even have a PhD. He's a part-time. Somebody should contact his university and tell them, hey, you know that one of your teachers is collaborating with a known scam artist, Andrew Henderson, right? He's helping him. He's associating himself with that. Somebody please contact, is it King's College in England? Contact them. Let them know that. Let them know. And so let's take a look here.
Long term.
That's an interesting one. I am not, awfully positive on the economy of China at the moment. We're now at a period where we've almost never seen value underperform.
He's not overly confident, or he's not overly positive on the Chinese economy at the moment. It's the end of 2023. What a fucking idiot. What a fucking moron. He has no idea what's going on. And I'm trying to find this video here.
What do you make of what's happening in China? Because there are some folks who say this is the last decade of China's ascent. It's going to be all over. Jim Rogers is going to be here. He says, that they have some potential if they open up the currency. What do you make of what's happening in China?
I am not, awfully positive on the economy of China at the moment. And it's just really that there's quite a history of malinvestment in China. We've seen the country do amazing things. There was amazing growth.
Anyway, I was looking for, he says something I saw. I haven't seen these videos, but I kind of clicked on like a section, and there was one where he says, I can't wait to hear what Jim Rogers has to say, which tells you what an idiot Patrick Boyle is, because Jim Rogers is an absolute fucking con artist with no credibility whatsoever. I've documented that for years. Absolute fucking, he's a fraud. That's what Jim Rogers is. Write that down. Jim Rogers is a fraud. Have you ever heard anyone say that? Well, you're listening to that claim from one of the top investment experts in the world, and probably the very top fraud expert in the world. What do you think about that one? Exposed Jim Rogers many times. I'll get to that here in a little bit. Stay tuned for a little quick expose on Jim Rogers. I can't really expose Jim Rogers fully right now because it would take too long. I've written dozens upon dozens of articles and made dozens of videos on Jim Rogers, explaining why and showing why he's a contrarian indicator and fraud, and how he really makes all his money. And the whole premise, I'll get into that here in a minute. But think about that. I'm not overly positive on China's economy. I mean, what kind of a fucking idiot is Patrick Boyle? Patrick, can you take a fucking stance on anything? He couldn't even take a stance on these trading scammers when he was on CoffeeZilla's little interview. What kind of person are you dealing with? You understand? He doesn't want to tell you the full story. He doesn't know. Yet apparently he was pumping Russia. China's in a deep fucking disastrous tailspin. Okay? I've been studying Chinese economy for 20 fucking years. I think I probably know about it since I'm the guy that predicted the boom and predicted the bust. And have been navigating the Chinese economy in terms of their markets for several years very successfully. Very successfully. I'm the guy, as a reminder, for all you out there who don't know, I'm the guy that was warning about Chinese equities many years ago. Back 10 years ago. 10 fucking years ago. In 2015. I've got the documentation on my website. I warned about it many times. I warned about the shell companies. I warned about Alibaba many times. And back 2 years ago, even when Charlie Munger was pumping Alibaba and everyone on ScamTube, oh, Charlie Munger, okay, yeah, I'm going to buy, Charlie Munger. These are the same idiots that don't even understand. Take a look. You believe Charlie Munger is a genius because the media tells you so. Have you seen any fucking evidence of that? Have you seen the direct evidence of that? No, you haven't. You're just a fucking idiot. And I'm saying Charlie Munger is a fucking clown. He's delusional. He doesn't know what he's talking about. Alibaba's in deep trouble, and it's very fucking risky. And who was right? And all these idiots on ScamTube were pumping Alibaba. Bought it at $250. Buying more at $200. Buying more at $175. $150. You understand? I've got the goods. It's pretty obvious. For anyone who knows my track record, just a little bit about the track record, it's pretty fucking obvious. Okay? I'm still waiting to see anybody out there who can present evidence of an analyst who's on my level. Please, find one, please. And this also applies to all you buy-side guys out there. Any of you buy-side guys listening to me, I mean, obviously, there's nobody that's going to even come close to me on the fucking sell side. Wall Street, all that. Maybe there's some on the buy side, the guys, because their research is private. Don't know. I doubt it, though, because I cover such a wide variety of things, right? I don't know any other analyst who covers so much as that I cover. So the point here, folks, is about credibility. It's about credibility. You understand? You got to understand the credibility of anybody you're going to listen to, right? And this goes back to Andrew Henderson, negative credibility. Patrick Boyle, zero credibility. So, in this little trade-off here, Patrick Boyle becomes a business partner. Call up the college he teaches part-time for and let him know about Andrew Henderson being a fucking fraud, absolute fucking fraud scam artist, disinfo, pumping bullshit. Patrick Boyle associating with him in a business manner. It's a trade-off. Patrick Boyle throws his subscribers under the bus by giving Andrew Henderson some type of a credibility associating with him. For those who trust Patrick Boyle, they're going to say, he's associated with Andrew Henderson. Andrew Henderson, this must be credible, right? And vice versa. So it's a trade-off because Patrick Boyle is positioned as some type of expert by Henderson. You see that? He's asking him questions for which Boyle has no fucking clue. Remember, Patrick Boyle, in fact, let's go back here and see how he introduces Patrick Boyle.
I think China might be at that point where there's just been too much spending on projects that...
What do you make of what's happening in China? Because there's some...
Okay, not this one. Let's see this one.
Last kind of 15 years or so.
Than anybody. What do you make of you here in Kuala Lumpur?
Thank you.
From Nomad Capitalist Live 2023.
Notice that the Andrew Henderson, the scammer, he's got the whole scam announcer thing going on. He's got the Meet Kevin thing going on. He wasn't talking like this before. Oh, no, like a fucking radio DJ. Listen.
From Nomad Capitalist Live 2023.
From Nomad Capitalist. You hear that? Here we go.
Well, we've got every room in the house. We are joined by a very interesting gentleman. He's a quant trader. He's a university professor. He's a YouTuber.
Quant trader.
Patrick Boyle. Glad to see you here in Kuala Lumpur.
Thank you. It's fun to be here. It's a great city.
It is a great city. We are not so far away from China. You talk a lot about economic issues on your YouTube channel, and you think you break it down better than anybody. What do you...
Breaks down better than anybody. So you notice this. So he says that he's a quant trader. No, he's not. He's a part-time university lecturer. And apparently anybody with an MBA can fucking do that. in business school because business school has a low barrier, low bar, fucking idiots. Doesn't even have a legitimate graduate degree in business. Remember, MBA, 2-year degree, no prerequisites. So this is the business, shitty ass business school obviously allows an MBA to teach courses. It's pretty sad, actually. How is a quant trader? You all understand what a so-called quant trader is. That's the furthest thing you're going to get to any type of analyst. Okay? They're basically day trading. Remember, Patrick Boyle was affiliated with a commodities hedge fund. You all know commodities. Commodities, by definition, you're trading. It's gambling. There's no real fundamental analysis involved. It's gambling. It's technical analysis. It's news pieces. What are the inventories and cotton inventories? What's going on with the weather, the crop output, so on and so forth. Anyone that's dealing with commodities or Forex, right? The futures market, that type of stuff. Those are the last people in the world they're going to have a rat's ass idea about anything in terms of analysis. You understand? Because they're focused on day trades, quick trades. It's commodities. It's speculation. By law, according to the Securities and Exchange Commission, so-called, quote, investing. And I don't know how you can use the term investing, but they use that because of the of those managed futures funds, which managed futures funds are all fucking scams. It's all a fucking joke. It's a way for the guy running the fund to make high fees and you don't get any returns, basically. But when they use that term, commodities investing, Forex investing, and it's really just trading. It's considered by the SEC as speculation. Speculation. That means gambling. So you got a guy who's a quant trader, basically trading off little things you recognize, little patterns that repeat. Of course, the problem with that is that those patterns never continue to repeat. They only repeat for a while, and then you have to continuously find new associations. That's why only really the big guys with the big developers and computer algorithms and so forth have a chance at doing that stuff. It's just it's like going to the casino. It's really fucking stupid if you're like a quant trader. It's like dumb. That's why he didn't make it, of course. My point is that why would you think that someone who's not a legitimate professor, he's not a legitimate professor. He can call himself a professor because he's teaching courses, but he doesn't have a PhD, okay? And he doesn't have a background in securities analysis. So what's he going to know about analyzing China? He's not going to know jack shit. But you see, Andrew Henderson is positioning him this way, right? They both win. You understand? They both win. They gain subscribers from both channels. They position themselves accordingly as experts, and their subscribers get thrown under the fucking bus. Okay? I mean, a discussion on commodities, I could talk about that for a long, long time. But basically, and I've mentioned this for a long time, there's so much scams going on. All the brokers are scamming everybody on every trade. There's skimming going on. That's a whole another topic of discussion. That's why I say, if you're going to do commodities, you got to focus on the big periods, the big trades. You got to be extremely selective on what you're doing, and that may mean that you wait out the market depending upon what you're looking at. If you're only focused on, say, oil and gas and, say, precious metals, maybe you're going to have to set out the market without doing any trades for 2 weeks or 3 weeks or 4 weeks or 5 weeks, or maybe even longer, because you're waiting for the big movements, the big trades, the most obvious trades, the highest probability trades. That's the only way you're going to make money doing that shit. But almost nobody does it that way. You see? That's a very, very, in terms of the retail crowd anyway. They're all looking to make trades on a daily basis, which is why nobody that does that ends up making money, because they're fucking stupid. They don't understand the approach. And they don't understand that approach because they don't understand how to recognize when there are exceptionally high periods by which you can have a high probability trade versus lower probability periods. You see, that's the key. They're not taking the approach of analyzing things because they don't understand the whole macroeconomic landscape. They don't understand a lot of things, you see. They're just looking at it from a trading standpoint and following the news, the news buzz, the news bits. And that's why all these guys end up blowing up. That's a whole other topic of discussion. But so that's why I want to do this video, really, to expose Patrick Boyle as a complete fucking, this is another level now. He is at another level. Okay? He has formed a business partnership, a business arrangement with Andrew Henderson. We can now legitimately, with confidence, categorize Patrick Boyle as a scammer. I can anyway. I will. I'm going to. Because he's associating himself with a known scammer.